everyone. So I decided to kind of do like a impromptu type of live for Father's Day. I thought it would be fun to bring my dad in, who helps us out a lot here at Linda's, and kind of get his take and what his favorite things are, the things he loves about it, and just ask him questions. So I thought that would be a kind of fun thing to do. So while we were waiting for people to get on, you know, definitely put in there in the comments things that I can't even talk straight, Dad. It's weird without Corey here.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions? Well, come on over here. Come on over here. We both have mics on. So it's so funny is that I'm so used to doing this with Corey. Obviously, he sets up the tech. He sets up everything. I think a second ago I went live on accident. And we just have the one phone streaming right now because we thought, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to try to do this live without Corey. They're probably going to regret that I still have the logins and the keys, being kind of retired. But I thought it'd be so fun while everybody was off to bring Dad in, to be able to do a live on Father's Day with him and just talk about a few things, but really talk about the things that he loves and the things that he sees the most when he's here working. So let me just double check everything's working. We're going to go over to his phone. I know this is funny. I don't have the, oh, put your password in. Don't tell anybody. Corey's laughing at me right now. I can feel it. So let's see. Okay. We're still looking. Isn't this funny, like the technology, especially when you're...
Okay, that's...
No, it's all good. We're going to keep looking. We might have to get Corey on the phone. He's like, I'm sure he's laughing at us right now. Let me go check the back real quick. Okay, hang on just a second. No, we're definitely there. Okay, so we got everybody saying hi. We got from hot Houston. Yes, it's kind of hot here today as well, except
humid.
with a humid. Lots and lots of rain for sure. Trying to find it on here so we could see questions, but I think we're going to just let Corey check the questions for us. If he's watching, hopefully he's watching. Okay, so if you're just joining us, I decided to do a quick little impromptu, out of the blue, live. You know, I still have the keys and I still have the login. They're probably going to regret this after this. But I thought that'd be super fun if I could try to do this without Corey, because he's always the one behind the tech. He's so smart. And believe it or not, he does all of that. I just kind of smile when we do lives together. So thank you, Corey. I didn't realize how hard it really was in trying to figure this out. And it's Father's Day, so why not celebrate our fathers, our dads, our husbands, our spouses, our partners in life, because it's their day too, right? I think a lot of the times when we think about quilting, we just think about women, but there's a lot of men in quilting as well, and that love the different textures and the different fabrics and things as well. So number one, happy Father's Day.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to everybody out there and everybody watching. But in the meantime, so this is Dad. If you have never met him before, you might have seen him at a show. He used to go to the Houston shows with us and talk to everybody coming in the booths. He's really good. He loves to visit and talk. But if not, so he actually does work in the back now. So he's retired. We're gonna ask him a little bit of those questions and what he loves about working back here and his top picks that he loves, and then the things that he seems to pull the most, because he works back in the warehouse with Ray and his team pulling stuff and then making sure all of the orders are pulled together, ready to be shipped to the customers, right?
That, yeah.
Yep, that's about what you do?
Yeah, I come in, you know, when I get out of bed, come in about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And pull orders and get them ready to ship. You know, of course, we try to get the Amazons out first, you know, to make sure they get out the same day. But yeah, we pull all the orders.
The priority ones, basically.
Yeah, priority,
Yep.
first, and then we pull the rest. And it's a busy few hours.
So before we look at the things that you pull the most, we're going to ask a few questions.
Okay.
So we're going to tell everybody where you grew up. Where'd you grow up?
Okay. First, my name.
We're not telling him his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. What's your name?
No.
He's Dad, right? And he's
Yeah.
grandpa to everybody that works
Right,
in the back.
everyone here calls
I
me
didn't even
Grandpa.
think about that.
So my name is Jerry Leisure, and it's impromptu for me too. She called me up about an hour ago and said, "Hey, Dad, let's go do this."
I know. I was like, we're just going to really be impromptu about this.
So-
not have it scheduled and not even give them time to really get prepped to be on a video.
So here I am, bearing it all for you.
Yep.
Okay, I was raised in Oklahoma. All various part. We grew up most of the teenage years in Guyman, way up in the Panhandle in no man's land.
Yeah, no man's land. Yep.
And it was in Texas County, so I could actually say I was a Texan long before I moved to Texas.
Because you're in Texas County.
We was in Texas County.
That's funny.
I enlisted in the Army in Amarillo, even though I was living in Oklahoma, so that made me a Texas vet.
There you go.
And so that, but I grew up in Oklahoma.
All right. And so what is, tell me what's a favorite story of growing up? Like with all your siblings? Just one. I caught you off guard on that one.
Yeah, you did. Okay. One of the favorite ones is that when we was young and,
This was a long time ago.
yeah, a long time ago.
Ancient. No.
And, the three of us boys, myself and my two brothers, we had like 30, 40 cents between us. So we went down and bought a Heath ball,
Okay.
and of course there were three, so we split it in third. And back then, it was the most horrific tasting candy ball that I've ever eaten, and wasted the 30 cents.
30 cents went a long way back then from a lot of the stories that you tell me.
Yeah, so that's something that I can always remember. Another one was we got a BB gun for Christmas.
Okay.
Again, the three of us.
Okay. Not sure what this is going to be good, so if kids are listening.
And my brother Grant said, "Hey, I get to shoot first." No, I get to shoot first.
Oh.
So I put my hand over the top of it,
Oh, no.
and I said, "I do," and I still have a little blue spot right there
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
where the BB went in.
Back in the day, you guys, back in the day. And you probably know some of these stories too. Well, those are fun stories. All right, so tell us your favorite color.
It had changed over the years, but green.
Green?
Is, I enjoy.
What kind of, is it like a forest green, Christmas green?
Yeah, more of a forest green.
Forest green, like a darker green?
Yeah, darker
okay,
green.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like if we were to pick between these greens up here of the Shannon Cuddle.
Yeah.
Okay, so more like a hunter green.
Yeah, well, okay.
You love greens, right? Or the army green?
24 years in the Army.
I was going to say, or the army green? So what is your favorite food?
Probably have to go with Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex.
Although Mexican food, when I went to the original restaurant, they have this big, nice bowl of fish soup.
Okay.
About different, and that's delicious.
You really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's southern Mexico.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so like a Mexican in general. Yeah. So what about like your favorite sweet thing?
Well, we go to Renco and we buy bags of Reese's Pieces.
I can see that. Mom, if you're watching, I know that this has a lot to do with you too. She loves Reese's Pieces. And I can't say I don't either, especially when E.T. came out, right?
Yeah.
So you go buy this big
Reese's
bag.
Pieces, we keep some by the bedside so that we have 10 or 12 every night before you go to bed.
Oh, goodness. But I mean, that's it's peanut butter, right? So you're getting your protein at the same time. Okay, what is your favorite drink?
Oh, that would be a tough one.
I'm sure.
We only have water in the house and Diet Coke.
Yeah, I was just going to say Diet Coke
I
for
probably
sure.
more Diet Coke than water.
Yeah.
But no, we drink Diet Coke way too many. But hey, you got to die.
Acknowledging the problems, the first step.
You got to die of something, so I may probably line my casket in Diet Coke.
Oh goodness. We won't do that. But we'll make sure that we have the symbol somewhere for you. So favorite drink. So while you guys are answering, or while we're answering these questions and Dad's answering these questions, definitely put some in there. Like, what was your, if you're watching your father, what are some of your favorite things? If you're watching your dad, what was some of his favorite things while we're talking about this? It's all about celebrating Father's Day, and then just like I said, we'll show a few things at the end, but this is really kind of a Father's Day thing. Okay, so I'm gonna let you talk about this, and I'm gonna go check the camera to make sure everything's still working good. But what was your profession before you retired? So you kind of hinted to it a second ago.
Okay. I went into the Army immediately after high school and got to go to the turkey shoot over in Vietnam for a year and was working in the hospital. We wasn't actually in combat zone per se, although we did get bombed, but you know, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But worked there and advanced up. I didn't agree with Vietnam, so I got out for 4.5 years and then went back in and became a surgical tech, operating room technician. And based on my experience in Vietnam, the Army selected me to go to the physician assistant program. And I was in the second class that the Army had, but I was physician assistant from '81 until I retired 10 years ago. And so I had a lot of experience, worked primarily in rural health, family practice, you know.
So you spent about 24 years in the Army,
yeah.
in the military. Speaking of that, they had their 250th year birthday
250th anniversary
yesterday. So that's kind of cool to know that, you
Yeah.
know, that's been securing our borders and country for over
Yeah.
250 years.
Right.
So we want to thank everybody for their service, of course, and thank you for the service that you've did. And then after you left the military, you went into private practice
Private practice
here in Texas.
Well, yeah, and Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you did a lot of it in Texas first, and then you went up and did some in Alaska.
Yeah,
That's right.
we went into, in rural health here in Texas, which I feel now and then that rural health is what physician assistant was made for. But worked as a physician assistant in the rural communities, and then went to prisons for 6 months.
Didn't like that very much.
Only difference between being an inmate and a employee is you got to go home at quitting time.
Yeah, that would be a hard one. That would definitely be a hard one.
That was only different. But after 6 months, I decided had enough, so we went up to Alaska, and there we did internal medicine for the Air Force, and went on occupational health for Trident Seafoods on different islands.
Oh, I remember when you were out there. Was it like St. Paul's
Oh,
Island?
I went to 3 or 4 different
islands out
but
there, very remote.
Yeah, Mom got to go to St. Paul's.
Yeah, okay, that's why I remember that name, because she got to go out there with
Mom
you.
got to go to St. Paul's with me, and but we went to Shemia, which was the only island, only place that got bombed by Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of history now too.
Yeah. So that was, it was and then Shemia is closer to Russia than it is to Anchorage.
Yeah, I've seen that on the map. That's awesome.
And another unique thing, I have a picture on my map that does a sign that says, "Welcome to McDonald's." 600 and some miles
away. Get on that little seaplane, right?
Right.
And
so
you hop on over there.
It used to be an Air Force base, and they did not have a McDonald's on base.
Gotcha. Well, fun. Well, that's great. Okay, so now we're going to kind of jump into some of the things that he does here at Linda's, which he talked about at the beginning, where he works part-time in the warehouse, pulls orders. What is one of probably the favorite things that you like about working here at Linda's?
Well, it's a family-owned business.
Yeah.
Our son owns it. Dianna used to own it, but it's a family-owned business, and our children and grandchildren all work here.
Oh, yep, that's true.
So Summer's in customer service, so she's right here with us. Chantel takes care of all the fabric. So.
And you got Corey and then Ray.
And Corey and Ray, and so we're all here as a big family. So I get to interact with the children and grandchildren.
So just kind of being around the family.
Oh,
that's
it's
the kind
great.
of that's a nice thing about a family business, is that you do get to be a part of it with your family, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Okay, so let's go through like the most favorite, or not favorites. We'll do that next. The most picked items that when you're picking, and it might not be when other people are picking, but when you're picking, what you feel like you're pulling the most of.
Okay.
So we had him grab them ahead of time just because we didn't want you to have to wait. So kind of bring those over.
Batting is a big product.
So batting in general.
Batting in general.
So you're pulling a lot of
This is an
batting.
example of all the batting. I couldn't bring
Oh, there's a lot of batting, yeah. So
Couldn't
like
bring all-
batting in general, he's pulling a lot of package batting, giving them to them to pull the rolls. So this was the Hobbs 80/20.
Yeah.
What's the next thing that you
Okay.
pull a lot of?
This is the cutter kits. We have about 12 different ones.
Yeah.
This is the nail it, and we do a lot of
The nail it.
Of the nail it.
Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. So,
that is
so
the
of
part-
Shannon Fabrics, the Cuddle Kit and Nail It seems to be
Yeah.
the one you pull the most of.
That's the one I pulled.
You can check out all the kits. They're all different sizes. And while you are checking that out, while he's pulling them, we want to let you know that we do have a code that you can use to get an additional 10% off. You know, we always got to throw a code in there. So Dianna 10AP, that gives you an additional 10% off anything you purchase on the website today. So jump over there if you're looking today or even tomorrow. You don't have to shop today if you don't want. Dianna 10AP. Okay, show us the next
Okay.
thing that you went to get.
Okay. And again, this is an example of the threads that we carry. Again, we carry
A lot.
a lot.
I think Corey said the other day it's like over 30 lines now. So,
So I couldn't
but
bring
probably
out
the ones that you pull the most are Omni,
and
Glide,
Glide, and then this the Orfil.
Orfil.
Yeah.
So not necessarily these colors, but just in
Yeah.
general the brands,
Yeah.
right?
And
Okay.
so those are the brands.
Okay, we're gonna kick this over here. Get this out of the way.
Okay, and then we have pre-round bobbins, but both M and L, and we
So
sell
we pull a lot of those, right?
a lot of the pre-round bobbins.
So pre-wound bobbins. Okay, another thing that he pulls a lot of. This is fun.
Okay.
Oh,
We,
the Go
we-
Sticky.
we only got these in, what, 2 months ago, 3 months
Oh,
ago?
no, It's been since the Houston show. So it's probably
Okay.
been about 6 to 7 months now.
October, okay, yeah.
Yeah, 6 to 7 months.
But anyway, we sell a lot of these, and they work.
You have one at the house, don't you?
We
Yeah.
do. We have one at the house, and they work great. All you do, use it. When it gets lid on it, you can take it over the faucet, wipe it off, and it's good to go.
If you've ever done, well, you wouldn't have, but my mom and dad's house is very clean. They like to have everything very clean. So they love using this. I love using mine too because it's so easy to clean. So the
Oh,
Go
yeah.
Sticky. And this one's the Mighty Go. This is probably the one. Do you use the Mighty Go the most or the smaller one? Both of them?
Both
Both of them?
yeah.
They have different sizes of those. Okay.
Okay.
What's the next thing? And if you're asking questions, it's hard for me to see those questions, but I'll make sure I jump over there and look. And if hopefully somebody else is watching and can answer those too for me.
Okay.
Okay.
The gyration,
Okay, the tiles.
yeah.
Okay,
The big tiles.
the big tiles. So that's good to know because I actually have a pattern coming out next week that uses the tiles. So that'll be another video. But so tiles in general, probably.
And chips, both the Bella solids and the
What's funny is he knew exactly how to find all this stuff because he's so used to pulling it. Because he just grabbed a shopping cart. I'm like, go pick the things that you pick the most, and he went straight to those items. This is fun. This isn't your normal like shopping live thing, but it's Father's Day, and we wanted to incorporate Dad in this. So okay, what else?
okay. We sell a lot of the gel
So-
pack.
Yeah, so they're called jelly rolls from Motor or strip packs or whatever. All the different brands call them something different. But yeah, definitely lots of these, right? Because you can make so many things with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I saw that you picked out a pattern.
Yeah, this unbelievable. We sell these every day. We have to come over and get
More and
these
more.
more and more.
So what's fun about this pattern, if you haven't seen this, so Chantelli, who is our store manager, went over, before when I was still doing everything here with Darren and Corey, she did a video with us and she actually made this whole quilt. And then she showed how to use the templates, which is the X-Block, I think, the X-Block templates to do this. And it turned out so cool. So this is really fun. That's why I think it's so popular because of how cool it turns out. And you can use any colorway with it. It's really cool. All right, go ahead.
Okay. It sells both the individual and the.
Oh, yeah. So we just recently brought these in. These are from Pauline's Quilter's
Yeah.
World. These are the sashing, and this has to go with the Quist system. I probably said that wrong, but KISS. Yeah, you're like, I just pulled the
I
stuff.
full of stuff.
But so this one has all the different sashes in it. So I could see why this would be popular because you have so many different sashes. A multi-pack, so the Ultimate Sasher Collection. definitely need that if you're doing any type of sewing or binding or sashing. Okay.
This is
Oh,
the Corey snip,
Corey's hook and snip
hook and snip.
and tweezer set.
Now, this was so popular that I wouldn't even put them on the shelf. I kept the table right below. So when we got orders, I was just...
It's easier than walking back to where it was, right? Just have a few boxes there. So if you haven't tried the Corey's hook and snip and tweezer set, you should definitely grab some of these. These are super fun, super easy to use. We have multiple videos on this. And I think that's probably why they're so popular. And I think this actually might be one of your faves too,
Yeah,
right? Okay, well, so we'll go back to that.
Yeah. Okay. And then the
little scissor set. So this was from Famore. I'm not sure exactly the name of this one. So I'll
Okay, this is the olive oil.
something.
We have two
different designs. I
different
remember
designs.
that.
But
I should have looked at everything before, but we'll make sure we put that in the description. But this one has the different types of scissors that you can use for sewing, and then some small, tiny little snips because you need both sizes, large and small. Plus the ones with the hook on it can get underneath things. And then it comes in a nice, pretty package. And this one's from Famore.
Yeah.
So it's so fun. So when it becomes your favorite things that you like. These are two of the faves, right?
These are two of the favorite things that if I was sewing at home.
If you were sewing at home, but Mom does.
Mom does, okay.
Yeah.
And so these would be two of the things that I would definitely
really like.
want. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you heard it from him. And being a PA, being in the physician, being in surgical and stuff like that, he understands tools.
You need scissors, good scissors.
You need good scissors and you need good tools. So if you don't have any, we carry tons of different Famore products. Our stuff is made by Famore. Corey's hook and snips, our batting scissors, all kinds of stuff, right? So good tools in any profession is important, is what you're saying.
Good tools.
Good tools. All right, so let's pop up. I asked you this morning about some favorite fabrics that you like. I'm like, because I didn't think he'd have favorite fabrics because he doesn't sew and quilt. Mom does all that stuff. He supports her in that, and he goes, oh no, I have stuff. So I had said, pick out that and tell us why. So why don't you bring those over? I know lifting the fabric at all times is always a workout, right? Thanks everybody for joining us today. I know it was kind of an impromptu. It's Sunday, it's Father's Day. This will obviously be on record and you can watch it later, but I wanted to incorporate Dad, Grandpa into one video and I thought Father's Day would be perfect.
Okay, this is one of my favorite for two or three reasons. One is cuddle, very, very soft, but also patriotic and it celebrates the Army. Okay, it has the Army logo on it. So after spending 24 years in the Army.
I'm gonna go take it up closer so they can see it. Yeah, I love cuddle. I love that they have these, the cuddle has all the different ones. I'm not sure how much you can see, but this is one of the cuddle ones that you can put on back of a Quilts of Valor quilt. And it's called DC Soldier Green. That's great for the celebration yesterday and is one of your favorites. I was surprised when you picked that. Not totally surprised because you're so patriotic, but out of all the other ones. All right, go ahead.
And then this one I picked because I fell in love with Alaska when we went up there, okay?
Yeah, that looks like kind of like
the
Northern Lights up there.
The Northern Lights and the trees, there's so much wooded area up there. Just
love this one.
Make me homesick for Alaska.
Okay, so let me go put that one over there. This one, so you can see a little bit closer, and it's called X Nature, and it's green from Timeless Treasures. And I'm getting my workout on this one. But this is a wide back, and he loves this wide back because of how he just described. All right, and you have something else you picked.
Okay, and then they have a panel that I thought was very, very unique for me. And it's a map of America, but it has all the national parks on it. And Mom and I love to travel, and we've been to a good deal. Our son is trying to make his goal to go
to all of them. I think he's almost got that too.
Yeah, he got like 50, he's in his 50s. But I enjoy going to them. We had traveled
to a lot of these.
Yeah, I haven't counted just how many, but we got 10, 12 different ones that we've been to.
Yeah, no, that's something I think that kind of ingrained in most of us as kids was travel, right? I also love to travel. If you've been following us for a long time, you know that I kind of semi-retired in January. Was supposed to take more time off, but then I really missed you guys, so I kind of do a video every once in a while. But then just doing trips in between. I just love travel, exploring. I'd rather spend my money on travel and exploring than on things. Don't need the things, I want the experience.
Yeah.
So I think that was one thing that you and Mom really helped with us, taught a lot of us, and that we
Mo-
got to enjoy.
Moving over to you probably.
Well, that probably did it too, although I didn't enjoy that part. I did not enjoy that part. So while we're here, we thought we would show you also the new collection that we got in. I think we did kind of a stream on it the other day, but I'm not sure if we got close. So it's the poppy cotton. We'll move this out of the way. And it is 30% off right now. And then if you use my code, you're going to get the additional 10%. And it's the Poppy Cotton Kitty Loves Candy collection. And I'm going to show it to you in the tiles so I don't interrupt all this beautiful work that they have going on here. Because remember I told you I kind of snuck in here and did this. So they have the tiles, I guess, or layers. I think for them they call them 10-inch squares. The 5-inch squares. The fat quarter bundle with all of them, and then the 2.5-inch strips. So I'm going to show you kind of all those individually, but this was really fun. We did this the other day. We showed them all up close and personal, and they were super cute. So I'm going to move the camera over here so it might go ahead and close your eyes for a second so I don't make you dizzy. We're working with one camera today. I'm going to move over here, get to see all this. Alrighty, so here we go. I'm going to try to make sure I angle it right. So again, this is the Kitty Loves Candy collection, 30% off online right now, but also with my discount code. We'll show it to you again, Dianna 10. We don't have Corey here to do all my fancy graphics, so we're doing it ourselves. This kind of gives you an idea what's in the collection. So we have this one. And if you want to go over and you can just jump on the website and look at it, it'll show you all of them. Just type in Kitty Loves Candy. Also, if you're on the newsletter, they sent out the link on the whole collection too. But just so you can get a kind of up close and personal with it as well. I love that it has all the different kind of like a classic type of Halloween with the different soft colors. But then you can use all the blenders and stuff too. So the National Parks panel, let me see if we can look that up and see what that one is called.
Yes.
We'll get that looked up for you. National Parks panel, the name of it. I know we have a big one and then we have that small one.
Okay.
I'm trying not to keep you guys over 35 minutes today, so I'm going a little bit faster on this, sorry. But I know it's a special day for those fathers out there and you want to get back to them. But I wanted to celebrate my dad and how much he helps us here at Linda's. So, but at the end, I wanted to make sure you guys saw stuff too.
Okay. Corey said that we have to name and give it a title.
So we know if we could get the name of that National Parks panel, that would be great.
Okay.
It might be on it. I know I should be giving all the titles to this, but you just jump over to the collection and look at all the different ones. Voila. Super fun ones. I also like how they put the aqua and teal into it. So the National Parks panel is by Riley Blake. And I think it's just called National Parks panel, so we'll have to look that up.
Well, pattern 91.
P9157, yeah. They also have that other National Parks, that big panel over there. Did you see that one? I've made a quilt out of that one. It's going to be a longer one. So B says she got the fat quarter set of this collection. You're going to love it. There's going to be so many things you can use in it. So whether it's yardage, the tiles, the fat quarter set, the 10-inch squares or the 5-inch squares, there's just so much to choose from. So that was just kind of like a glance of all the different ones that come in the tiles. You get 2 of each, which would be the same with the 5-inch squares, the rolls. Let me move this out of the way. Again, trying to do all this myself as impromptu. So there's the 5-inch squares. And then I'll roll these back over here. You get to see all my movement today. The strips, which we all know there's so many things we can do with strips. And then just a kind of idea of all of them together to show you how well those all blend together. So I'm going to put this back over. So to see, again, we had one camera today. Again, anything that you purchase online today, tomorrow, the next day, you can definitely use this code, Dianna10AP, get that additional 10% off. Again, we want to make sure we wish everybody a happy Father's Day. These are my graphics because I don't have my amazing Corey here to do all my graphics with me. I'm like, I'm just going to do homemade stuff. I am. All right, so as you look at all the fun things that you have over here, I'm going to get this back around. Corey, if you can name any of that stuff for me since I see that you're watching, that would be awesome. National Parks panel. Obviously, I didn't prep ahead of time on that one. And, well, we will finish up. Oh, did you find it?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. Let's go ahead and show this and then finish up and let them get about their amazing day today, their relaxing day with their fathers, spouses, partners. All right, so I love this one because it's a little bit larger and you can do a lot of different things with it. And I actually just made this one into a whole cloth. So I just put some cuddle on the back of it and called it a day. Because it fits the 80-inch wide cuddle, and then of course you can use the 90-inch too, but there's so many colors. It makes it a really easy, fast, easy quilt to do. All right, Dad, let's tell him bye. Oh. Come on, he's over there. He's like, no, we're going to show more. No, we're going to. So thanks so much for joining me today on this impromptu. Only gave you an hour notice. I just thought it'd be fun. Like, you know, we don't ever get to talk about our dads and our fathers when we're here doing the lives because we're always showing stuff or talking the quilts. And I wanted to make sure that we celebrated you as well, too.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So
Enjoy it.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
All right. Till next time. Bye. Okay, now I get to go cut it off because I'm the only one here.
Okay.
As you're watching this, sorry.